How's it going, people? Welcome back to the channel. I did say yesterday that I might do a video today, depending on what news comes out. And here we are, more news that highlights how this club has been running. Not only has made a mockery to other fans, us fans, but other clubs have also noticed how we've been moving. And teams like Aston Villa think they can not only go in once for one of our best young talents, but go in again for one of our best young talents. Gone are the days of thinking we can even try and compete with even the clubs below Man City and Chelsea. At the moment, we're not even competing with the ones in and around us now between 6th to bloody 12th position. It's crazy. It's actually crazy. I'm going to go through the early comments real quick. Villa are taking the piss out of us this window. That's how I feel. I don't know whether that's the, negative me, the pessimistic me that's feeling like that, but surely this is taking the piss, because I asked myself, will Aston Villa go and try and poach one of United's top 3 young talents? Would they try and go poach Man City's? Would they go try poach Liverpool's and even Tottenham's? Dare I say they wouldn't, because they know that it's not going to happen. With Arsenal, it's a mad thing. It feels like they're taking the piss. Here we are again, Villa taking the piss now, not going to lie. 100%, they're definitely taking the piss. Clearly, Villa think they have a chance when they keep bidding for him. Arsenal better hurry up and give him the contract ASAP. Imagine a player is probably turning around to Arsenal saying, listen, Aston Villa want me. So if you don't want to, Aston Villa want, nah, please. Big up Hivory TV. He says, big up Turkish. My man's working hard and bringing this every day. Only when I can. Only when I can. If I can, I'll do it. But obviously, it is what it is. Just got rained off work. Happy days, good time in Turkish. Big up Knuckles. Big up Taylor. I see you here as well. Villa looking at Arsenal like that girl at school who used to be a 10, who was so prestige, no man can chat to, but now she's a free getting passed around the ends. And it's literally in the school days, Arsenal wore that image. And now that is... Hope you guys are well, though. Aside from Arsenal Football Club, I hope you guys are well. I hope your lives are going well, jobs are going well, money's good, health is good and all of that. Don't let Arsenal bring you down again for another summer. Big up Jashar, I see you, my bro. Courtney says, big up Turkish, been following your content for a while. Love seeing the growth. Thank you, Courtney. Thank you. Not a name I see often, but listen, a lot of people don't, comment consistently, and that's fine. It is what it is. I like engaging with the people, but at the same time, love for the love from all over. If you're just listening, if you're engaging, if you're promoting, if you're sharing, love for all of the love. Who did I just see here as well? Alan, good afternoon, Turkish. It gets worse as each day passes as Arsenal fans. Bunch of amateurs at our club. And KG, come on, G. Villa are definitely moving to you like your little bro. I'm glad a fan of another club can say it, because sometimes I have to ask myself, is it because everything's been so bad at Arsenal that I look at these things and maybe overreact to it in a negative sense? But I don't think it is. I think Aston Villa, like I said, going for one of your top 3 young players, young attacking players, not once but twice in a window. There's something there. There's something there. Fabrizio confirmed last month that Emile Smith-Rowe will 100% sign the contract till 2026. And Fabrizio did say that, but like I said, I do take a lot of these in the nose and journalists with a pinch of salt, because they don't know everything. We can't listen to them like it's facts. Yes, some know more than others, and I think Fabrizio Romano, maybe Chris Wheatley, maybe a few others know a bit more than others, but even those people don't know it all. So as much as Fabrizio is saying that, and I have seen it reiterated after Kieran Tierney signed his contract, I feel like Aston Villa coming to make a second bid, even a first bid, shows that maybe there was, murmurs behind closed doors that Arsenal are struggling in contract negotiations. Maybe that wouldn't be new news to us. We've struggled in contract negotiations with a lot of players over the last 5 years, young and experienced. So I'm not too sure. I'd use Fabrizio's word as gospel, as they say. I'm good on a quick work break. Life is calm. Come on, my bro. If someone kicks a ball in the Euros, we are linked with them. Who the fuck is Nuno Tavares? I've heard his name before, but again, I can't answer that question. I've just heard his name. Maybe I've heard his name because we've been linked to him before or something. But big up Turkish. Don't let Villa bid anger you. Aston Villa are desperate. Soon they'll be bidding for everyone because Grealish will be going out after going out of the Euros. Potentially. And again, it's one of those cases where, you know, we look at the end of the window and we weigh it up then and see what we've actually done. But it doesn't bode well when Aston Villa beat you to a player that you've evidently gone in for, and then they go and bid for one of your top 3 young attacking players. It doesn't look good. It doesn't sound good. And Aston Villa, regardless of what money they get, they're not going to go and bid for a top 3 young player at any of the other big, so-called big 6 clubs. They're just not going to do it. I doubt they even go to Leicester and go and bid for a young player. I think they can get it done. Let's be honest here. Everton, I doubt that too. But Arsenal, no holds barred. Daka and Samari, hope you're well, my guy. Daka and Samari wrapped up for Leicester already. We need to take some business lessons from the Foxes. Love from the States. We can take some business lessons of a few clubs. You know, I remember when people used to talk down about Chelsea's doing this whole young player in, loan them out, and this and that. But at the end of the day, that method brought them into an era where they started making good profit off of young player sales and spending that profit on players that were coming in ready to win league titles. You know, as much as you ask Chelsea fans, do they miss a Salah, De Bruyne or a Lukaku? Because obviously those are 3 young players that they sold to make some of the money to buy a Fabregas, a Costa and so on. That won them. I doubt they missed them because they still won league titles. They still got the job done. It's only at Arsenal we tend to miss players, and we're not even missing players or talking about missing players that have done anything for us. Aaron Ramsey, Wojciech Szczesny, yeah, FA Cup, whatever. You know, none of these men, you know, once they're gone, they're gone. I don't want to see anyone from the last 10 years back. The only person I would have taken back was Fabregas, and, you know, we fucked that up. Have you made sense, Ayub? 24 hours can't help anyone make it make sense at Arsenal. It gets even worse. You wake up to more news that is baffling, to say the least. The media have gone mad linking us with every Tom, Dick and Harry. It's so frustrating to hear and not seeing anything transpire. It is, people. It is. I'm going to bring up the article from The Athletic. I'm not sure who broke the news about the second bid, if it was The Athletic or not, but it did pop up on my phone. So I'm going to read it quick. Should I read the whole thing? Let me have a quick whiz through. Aston Villa have stepped up their attempts to sign Emile Smith-Rowe from Arsenal by submitting a second offer for the attacking midfielder, who's yet to agree a new deal at the Emirates. Opening bid of 25 million turned down, a new proposal of 30 million. Yeah. The 20-year-old England youth international is entering the final 2 years of his current contract. Cool. Why do Villa want him? Having already added to their creative options in the form of Buendia, Villa are keen to further bolster Smith's squad, and Smith-Rowe has emerged as a key target. Villa aim to keep their captain, Jack Grealish, but if he did go, they would want to have sufficient cover. Well, already you can see if and this and that. With Jack Grealish, he's more than likely gone. It's one thing Tottenham rejecting 100 mil for Harry Kane, but if Aston Villa get anywhere close to 100 mil for Jack Grealish, they'll be taking that. You know, regardless of, I believe, having the 4th richest owners in the league. I think that's something you take, and it's something you reinvest with. I don't think Jack Grealish is worth 100 mil. I don't think he'll ever be worth 100 mil. So if you're getting that price for him, I think they'll more than likely accept. Whether or not Villa managed to acquire Smith-Rowe, the approach has given indication of the 82 European Cup winners' wealth and ambition under owners Sawiris and Wes Edens. They came 11th, 3 places and 6 points below Arsenal on their second campaign back in the English top flight. And after Buendia's arrival, the activity into Villa Park is likely to continue. Smith-Rowe obviously come through Arsenal ranks, age of 10, loans at Leipzig, Huddersfield Town, scored 4 goals in 33 appearances for us last season. What else can you really say from that? That Aston Villa look like they do better business than us. And I'm not even saying that just based off of this, but if you base it off of some of the players they have and the quality of some of the players they have, and the fact that some of their players would definitely start for Arsenal Football Club right now. We haven't signed a single body in the middle. Some of Aston Villa's players definitely get into this side, 100%. And now in the transfer market, they're moving stronger than us, bigger than us, in a sense. I'm sorry, but when a club is going for another club's young talent, that's an indicator, usually, more often than not, that the club that's going for that young talent is the bigger club, or especially when it's 25, 30 mils and so on for a 20-year-old. But with Arsenal, it's embarrassing. It's embarrassing. They're 11th Turkish. Calm down. We're 8th, Chris. So how can I calm down? Regardless of where Aston Villa are, that doesn't get me excited or make me calm. It's about where Arsenal are. And where Arsenal are is on a continued downward spiral. However, which way you want to look at it, we're on a continued downward spiral. Jack has 4 years left on his contract. Talking about Grealish. Thank you, Junior. Great host. Appreciate that. Athletic must be waffling. Club willing to spend 50 million on White but can't afford to spend 60 on Maddison. Again, Athletic are not someone that I'm going to listen to and take it in as fact. They are one of the more, not even experienced, but let's say more reputation than others. But I kind of understand it, because with Arsenal Football Club, it seems like Ben White is the priority. So it seems like if we're going to spend 50, 60 mil, it's going to be on Ben White or a centre-back. That's why I'd understand where the Athletic are coming from in terms of, if we spend that money, which looks pretty much gone to Ben White, then we're done. And you know what further adds salt to the wounds, in my opinion? That Richard Garlick is friends with the West Brom technical director. They work together, not West Brom. Who are we going in for again? What's the guy's name? He's friends with the Brighton technical director anyway, and they used to work together at West Brom. So this is your guy, and your guy is trying to bend you over because you're at Arsenal Football Club. Like, I'm sorry, but Ben White isn't worth 40, 45 or 50 mil. Richard Garlick, you've been brought in as a negotiator. You've failed in negotiations for Buendia. You failed to Aston Villa at that. And now with Ben White, you're paying over the odds. Yes, we might look in a few years and say, what a buy. But at this moment, present in time, with the priorities that are needed, we're taking the piss again. So Richard Garlick, I'm not sure he's coming in to change anything at this football club. Big up Turkish. Thanks for a live stream. I can watch in Australia. Come on, big up everyone around the world watching. I'm a little unsure how Arsenal fans are valuing Emile Smith-Rowe at 50 million plus. He's had 6 months experience in the Prem and only 2 years left on the contract. That's another interesting debate. A couple of my WhatsApp groups today, there's a couple Arsenal fans that said they will take 30 million, 35 million for Emile Smith-Rowe. And I thought about it, and I thought to myself, what you say here, Joe, it is true. We cannot value Emile Smith-Rowe anywhere close to 50 mil or above right now. Maybe based on potential, but even when you base it on potential, you're basing that potential off a Huddersfield loan and 6 months in the first team setup at Arsenal. So I thought to myself, last summer, would I have taken 20 mil, 25 mil for Emile Smith-Rowe? And the answer is yes, I would have. Now, after 6 months of football, okay, 4 goals in 33 appearances, he added a lot of energy, added a lot of creativity. Would I take 25, 30, 35 mil? No. Reason being, more so, not because I don't think he's worth around that figure, but because I don't think Arsenal will replace him adequately enough. He is young. He is a talent that might be worth more than 30, 35 million in the next couple of years, because what he showed me in those 6 months tell me that there's a player there. There's a player that can reach that 40, 50 million value mark, especially with English player tax. But at the moment, I think that's a very fair valuation, if not a bit exceeding what his valuation probably is right now. But that kind of takes into account the potential he has, but potential isn't always filled. I remember loving Jack Wilshere coming through. Hence why, even with Saka, for example, as much as we see a great player there, if we don't protect him well, if we don't add the experience around him, if we put too much pressure on his shoulders, we can break him, man. Fabregas jumped ship pretty much because there was too much pressure on him. Jack Wilshere, obviously, Arsenal through and through, he didn't jump ship, but he crumbled under it. Saka, again, similar, Arsenal through and through, but at the same time, a few more performances like he had at the Euros and another season of development, the big clubs are going to come sniffing. Forget competing, forget battling with Aston Villa for Emile Smith-Rowe. We'll be out there against Man City and Liverpool and United and Chelsea for Saka. And if we're struggling against Villa, then please, we're in the same predicament we was in 10 years ago, where we are still not moving aggressive enough or proactive enough. Sorry though, people. Sometimes I go off on a little rant, man. But it's actually annoying. Value in any capacity is basically how much the selling party are willing to let go and how much the player asset is worth to them. People may say Grealish ain't worth 100 mil, but to Villa, he's worth more. Yes, I understand that. In a business sense, I do understand that. But then potentially that, you know, cash and an asset is very different things. With an asset, in order to look at Coutinho with Liverpool, for example, that was an asset, but without selling that asset, but then again, they got 140 million. I don't think he was ever worth that. Do I think he was worth that to Liverpool? I don't think he was worth that. I think they essentially, you know, done their thing with that transfer. I guess you're right. I guess you're right. But what I mean about the cash and asset thing is if Villa get that 100 million in cash, they can potentially rebuild a squad that's better than they have right now. More balanced, better coordination all around the pitch. Who knows what they could do with a nice bit of income. They've already got rich owners. So I get you in terms of worth more to Villa. But at the same time, if you do it right, the cash can be worth more in the long term. Because I don't think Grealish alone is going to change Aston Villa's fortunes. They'll have to get a big amount of money from somewhere, whether that's the owner, whether that's a player sale, and then reinvest to improve their team. Even though they're trying well. It seems like they're trying right now to build on Grealish. But in all honesty, I still believe that they're resigned to losing. I mean, they're resigned to losing Grealish, and Emile Smith-Rowe, Buendia are the make-weights that Aston Villa fans will be told that, look, we've lost Grealish, but here are some players that, you know, will fill that void. True, Coutinho wasn't worth that, but Barca do overpay a lot, especially when they like a player. It's like, if they like a player, they'll wait it out and still get bent over. Griezmann, 100 mil. Dembele wasn't really. The Dembele was more panic because of the Neymar situation. But Coutinho, 140 and Griezmann, 100. Madness. Madness. Turkish, mark my words, Villa will start bidding for every single number 10 all over the Premier League as soon as England is out of the Euros. Every single... They won't bid for Man City, Liverpool, Man United, Chelsea players. They won't do that. They won't even do Tottenham. Do you think Aston Villa are going to all of a sudden go bid for Son? In all honesty, it's okay. Son's a more experienced player. He's a more established player and whatnot. But Tottenham finished 7th. We finished 8th. You know, do you think Aston Villa are going to go and bid for Son? No, because they know they're not going to get him. With Emile Smith-Rowe, they must have an inkling that they could potentially get him. Hence why they've done it early. And one of their second options with Buendia and Emile Smith-Rowe next. John Terry is taking... Oh, he's over there, isn't it? See, I don't know what's going on now, man. A couple Mr. A's. How can we have clones of subscribers as well? Big up Beast. I heard Grealish to City. They got money to spend, Aston Villa boys. Are we their feeder club now? As people like to remind me, let's just take it easy and see what happens at the end of the window. Fuck that. We already know what's going to happen at the end of the window. It's going to be the same shit as always. We're not going to be happy. There's going to be a certain section of fans that give the transfer window a 7 and an 8 out of 10 because of maybe a big name here. But really and truly, what needs to be done is 7 man in. Yeah, trust me. I know the difference. There was also an article here about 7-8 hours ago on The Athletic where they seem to insinuate they know a bit more. Other names are mentioned in here. So I'm going to quickly go into it. Arsenal target up to 5 major signings. Maddison, unlikely, but Ramsdale, Mulder and Gutierrez on the radar. Okay, so where are we? I'm not going to read the whole thing because it's just long. A right-sided centre-half and a promising young midfielder were both on Arsenal's transfer checklist. Ben White and Lokanga, obviously. But there are arguably areas of greater immediate need. They're not arguable, you know. There is areas of greater immediate need. Before the window is out, the club may still require, not may, and not still, the club require a left back, right back, number 10 and goalkeeper, as well as a more experienced central midfielder. 100%. So at least I'm reading something that makes sense here, you know? Like I said, I don't take the Athletic serious. I don't take Fabrizio Romano, Chris Wheatley. They know a bit more than the rest, but nothing is set in stone. But I like that I'm reading things like we need a left back, a right back, a 10, a goalkeeper, a central midfield player, and so on. Because that is facts. As much as people like to tell me that, oh, we can't do all of that in one window, it's good to hear it from these people that tell me we can't do it in one window like to listen to, you know? Where are we? Those positions remain on Arsenal's agenda. Negotiator Richard Garlick is working intensely as Arsenal try to make a dent in their considerable to-do list. Thank you. We do have a considerable to-do list. I'm glad they've pointed that out because it needs to be pointed out. Oh, here we are. It is Garlick who's overseeing talks with Brighton, helped by his relationship with and it's not helped by his relationship with their technical director, Dan Ashworth. The pair were colleagues at work. If it was helped by their relationship, we would have tied up Ben White for 30, 35 mil. That's a nice relationship. 50 mil is, this Dan Ashworth guy at Brighton is getting the better end of that deal. Let's be honest here. So it's not helped by their relationship. It's not helped. The size of the fee for White has raised eyebrows among some supporters who point to the reported availability of players such as Raphael Varane at a similar price. It is worth noting that White's salary demands are likely to be considerably more modest, meaning the total cost of any deal would be substantially more affordable. Arsenal also hope to pay for White in installments over a number of years. To be honest with you, if this summer, let's all go to sleep and just have a dream, and this summer we went in for White and Varane, that would make sense to me. Then I would be okay with losing Saliba. I'd be like, okay, I get what you guys are doing. One experienced centre back, you're bringing another young English one in, homegrown. That's fair enough. You don't seem to like Saliba. I can't say I like or dislike Saliba because I haven't seen him play much. So it is what it is. But this club don't do that. We need an experienced centre back more than anything at the back. So I don't really understand what going for Ben White alone does, especially when it looks like it's going to cost Saliba his role. That's when it doesn't make sense to me. Sorry, let me just get this super chat up so I don't miss it. Big up Robbie. Sir Alex wasn't afraid to throw a raw John O'Shea straight into a great Man United team at the time. The Saliba situation is cringe at this stage. A joke. It is. Like, at least let us see him and at least let us have some sort of understanding of what's going on. Like I said yesterday, it amazes me. As soon as Tierney signs a contract, Edu's out here speaking, Arteta's out here speaking, but no one wants to come out and speak about why Ben White is our main target, why William Saliba seems to be getting sided off again. And people are going to say to me, it's all rumours, it's all assumptions. Listen, Saliba's going to the Olympics. He's not going to have a preseason again at this club. Again, he's not having a preseason. He's already told us that he's upset that he only got to show himself in one game before Arteta made a decision to loan him out and not select him in the squad. He's already said these things. Now we're going to go into another summer where we buy a guy in the same position as him. He's going to the Olympics. So he ain't going to be back till 5 days before the season starts or 6 days before the season starts. If France go all the way, and with France's squad and quality, they'll go far in the competition, I'm sure. But it's mad to me. Gabriel's also going to the Olympics. You're right. But at least with Gabriel, I think Mari is a very good, decent centre-back as well, especially as a backup left-sided or a rotation option. I think Mari's good. I think that left-sided centre-back side, Gabriel and Mari, I'm happy with. It's the right side that I would have thought we had Saliba, maybe bring in a Varane, a more experienced one, and then you have everything you need. But the experience we go for are the Luizes and Williams and Czechs of this world, and not the Thiago Silvas, Cavani's, and so on. The real leaders at some of these great teams over the last 10 years. You know, Louise and William were not great leaders of these great Chelsea teams. They was part of a winning team. They was, you know, a big part of it. Yes, I'm not going to diminish their part in their roles in some of these teams. But at the same time, they wasn't the Thiago Silvas or the Cavani's of some of their teams. There's different types of leaders. Arsenal, like, I don't even know if they know what a leader is. Turkish, what 7 players are you bringing in? What 7 players am I bringing in? You see, it's a difficult question. Okay, so let me just write as we go. So right back is a must. In an ideal world, Hakimi would have been the one, but when PSG and Chelsea are fighting, well, not fighting it out, when PSG are in for him at 70 mil, that's a dream. Like I said earlier, you know, maybe we should all go steep and have a little dream. Right back, I'll say Aarons or Lamptey. I'd be happy with. You know, it's a risk, but they're all a risk. Aarons, Lamptey, Çelik from, like I said yesterday, you know, when I think about Turkish footballers right now, I do not even want to, if I speak, I'll be in big trouble, as Jose said, because I'd add Çelik to this list before the tournament, but the Turkish players in this tournament really let me down. But Aarons, Lamptey, let's just say right back, that's one player in there. Let's just say out of the 2, I'd pick Aarons. I think Aarons, for me, might not have, has a better profile. So for me, Aarons. Let's go Aarons. Then we need a central midfielder. That would have been Basuma for me. Easy, calm. We need a DM. I don't know right now who that would be. And to be honest, we need another central midfielder. Guendouzi doesn't look like he's going to be at the side. And as much as people say Lokanga is a replacement for Xhaka or whatever people are saying, Lokanga for me will be a replacement for Guendouzi. So let's put Lokanga in there as the other central mid, because it's happening. It's happening. So it is what it is. Van Arnold, backup left back. Another easy one, free transfer. So left back Van Arnold, right back Aarons, central mid Basuma. Central mid, we're also getting Lokanga. Xhaka going. I'd actually bring in Neves too. Why not? Why not? Actually, no. Locatelli. Let's bring him in, man. Let's bring my man in. I like his presence in the middle. I like he's a bit rough around the edges. I like that. So in the middle, I'd bring Basuma, Locatelli, Lokanga. Right back Aarons, left back Van Arnold. Keeper, bring in Onana. I've liked what I've heard about him. Seems like he could push Leno. We'll see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So that's 6. And then, in all honesty, I wanted Buendia. You know, it's a shame we didn't get him, but at the same time, with Saka's emergence on the right side and Pepe preferring the right side, I don't think we need Buendia as much as we might have last summer. But an attacking mid is definitely a priority, and if I had to pick from the ones we've been linked to, Maddison would be head and shoulders above. I don't think there's a chance in Odegaard. So yeah, add an attacking midfielder to that list. Yeah. Let's see what's going on. Van Arnold is 30. He's 30, but we need a backup left back, and 30 is not really that old, especially for an international and someone who's been I say Prem proven, but he's been a Premiership player for the last however many years. Back up to Kieran Tierney. I'd hope he plays 15 to 20 games max. That gives Tierney about 30 games next season because we haven't got any other competition. So I think that's fair. Van Arnold, 30 years of age. Hopefully it would be a small contract as well, but knowing our negotiating team would get bent over by him as well. Aarons for 35 million is too much. I'd agree with that. 35 million. Yeah, that is too much. Van Arnold will end up like, to be honest, Cedric has a backup. Right, listen, we want to right back in. I want Bellerin sold. I want Maitland-Niles gone. I want Chambers gone. So in all honesty, I'm happy with Cedric at right back as a backup. I'm happy with that. Backup right back Cedric, backup left back Van Arnold. Cool. Premier League experience, international experience. Calm. I'm actually okay with that. It's not great, but I'm okay. That's actually decent. It's Tierney and maybe Aarons that are more focused on the starters. And at the end of the day, when you look at backups like Cedric and Van Arnold, if you look at other positions, like goalkeeper, who's our backup there? If you look at central midfield, who's our backup there? If you look at striker, who's our, like, we've got so many positions where our backups are useless. Cedric and Banano actually sound like decent backups. So for me, I would actually be happy with that. Marcus says Cedric is the worst of the lot. I disagree. I think Cedric is the best of the lot we have at Arsenal right now. And that's not saying much. I'm not giving him credit there. I'm just saying, in terms of Bellerin, Chambers, Ainsley, Maitland-Niles, I'm picking Cedric above all three of them. Ben says, come on, Ben, hope you're good, my guy. Hope the little ones are well and all that. Family, all good. Cedric is fine as backup. Yeah, like at Arsenal, I don't think we can worry too much about backups right now when, well, unless that position is that Tierney's where he's injury prone. We need to worry about starting 11. That's our biggest problem. And then, we'll move. Maddison can be our 10 while having Emile Smith-Rowe on the left wing. He can be our Grealish. Imagine the link up. And that's my thing with Emile Smith-Rowe. He's 20 years of age, turning 21, I believe, next month. Very young. He's just been introduced to the first team properly, in my opinion. So we'll see how he kicks on. In all honesty, I wouldn't sell him. Even though they're offering figures that are in the rough ballpark of his worth and value at the moment. I wouldn't sell him because I'd want to see how it goes. And I don't think Arsenal would buy adequately in replacement. Big up Emmanuel, Turkish, big fan here from the US, listening to you while working. Come on, my guy. 100%. Yeah, bro, we need to think about the man that start. Big up Turkish from a Chelsea fan. Come on, Simba, I see you supporting the thing. I don't think Chambers is terrible. Chambers is better than Cedric, said Mr. A. I don't know. I think you're basing that off of the little impact Chambers had when he came, and he only had a run of 5-6 games where he was good, Chambers, at that right back position. In all honesty, I've seen Chambers let us down over and over again, similar to Holding and other players at the back for the last 5 years or so. So, well, even though he's been out on loan here and there and injuries have played a part, it still hasn't worked out with Chambers. So I'll just move on from him as well. But then again, it's their homegrown status as well. That's important. At the end of the day, I wouldn't mind. If it's not going to be Cedric back up right back, it would be Chambers for me. That would be my first two selections. But Cedric's just got a new contract. He just signed a 3-4 year deal last summer. So I'm assuming that he's going to be the one. I'd have Chambers over Cedric as he's homegrown. That's fair enough, because the homegrown thing is important. Villa abusing us, giving us no respect. I don't want Renato Sanchez, I don't. Like, he's looked all right in the Euros, but again, I feel like he's not... I don't feel like he's the right type of mentality and character we need right now. I think we could do with better. I feel like he takes he's a decent player, but he's not consistent enough for me. Yes, he just won the league with Lille, and yes, it looks like he's turned the corner starting for Portugal, and he has had a good few performances. But listen, at Arsenal, who am I to say no to a player like that? At the end of the day, Arsenal are 8th 2 seasons in a row. A player that does decent in a Euros, I guess at Arsenal we can't turn our noses up. He's still very young, only 23, said Mohammed. Turkish. Nah, man. Sanchez is a baller. He's a baller, but at the same time, he didn't step up at Bayern. It didn't work out for him at Swansea. Yes, it's working out for him recently. Yes, he's still young, but I don't know, man. Listen, we're linked with Lokanga, who I don't know anything about. So I'd take Renato Sanchez over Lokanga because I know more about Renato Sanchez. But at the same time, I'm not completely sold on him as a player. That's a good question, Ben. Who wanted Sanchez before the Euros? It's a very good question. Like I said, a couple games, the world's watching the Euros. It just changes people's perspectives. Pereira from West Brom for central attacking. I actually like Pereira quite a bit as well. I think he's a good player. I haven't seen enough of him to say whether he deserves or whether he's ready for a step up. But I think that Pereira is a good player from what I saw last season. He was definitely the shining light in the West Brom team for me. He was different class to a lot of the players around him. Worth a goal, said sky's the limit with Sanchez. Big Six is the best show on YouTube. Come on, my guy. Appreciate that. We'll be back on Wednesday, Big Six, 10 p.m. for the Euros. A few more games left of the last 16, and then the last 8 is wrapped up. Get the likes up, people. 600 watching. Only 167 likes. Yeah, come on, people. 600 watching. We should be on 300 likes at least. I'm going to quickly read the rest of this article that I started because we're 35 minutes in and I didn't even finish it. The arrival of White would most likely lead to the loan departure of William Saliba. Imagine that. It's not only me saying it or me, doing 2 + 2 = 4. So is the Athletic. Greek centre-half Mavropanos has already been permitted to join Stuttgart. We held on to his value last year by giving him a new contract, and we got 5 million off him for next year. Imagine that. What a club. Lakanga edging closer to an agreement with Anderlecht. Garlic has been in consistent contact with the Belgian side. You've been in consistent contact, but it's taken 2 weeks to get it done. Like, what I don't understand here, yeah, is if you want a player, yeah, you call, you text, you email, you fax, whatever these men are using, you do that. We're interested in this player. Like, is he up for grabs, price range, etc. Cool. They get back to you. He's not for sale, or yes, he is for sale. 15 to 25. Well, they're not going to say that, but they say 25 mil, the higher end. Obviously, you have to bargain and negotiate there. But what's taking 2 weeks if you're in consistent contact? What is consistent contact to me means, listen, there's 24 hours in a day. Let's take away 12 of those hours for sleep, for eating, and so on. You got 10 to 12 hours left to fucking get deals done every single day. This Athletic is telling me we're in consistent contact. Man said Arsenal use carrier pigeon. That would make the most sense here, because I don't understand in this day and age consistent contact taking 2 weeks to complete a deal for an Anderlecht midfielder that, number one, his price is fair. Number two, it seems like he wants to come. And number three, they're open to selling him. Like, what? It's like the doors are open, the gates are open, and we're just standing outside still calling in, waiting for someone to come out. Like, go in there and fucking get him. Get him and drag him out, and that's it. On to the next one, on to the next door. Like, it's crazy. They have done considerable homework on the 21-year-old. I should hope so. Homework. Connections that have enabled them to learn more about the player's character. Oh, my days. Arteta and company. How can I forget? Arteta's on good terms with Anderlecht. These men work together. What more do you need? Just go get the deal done, Arsenal. If you want him. Like I said with the Buendia thing, we got pipped by Aston Villa to Buendia. People want to say it's not your main target. If Man United or Man City or Chelsea or Liverpool or Tottenham turn around to Anderlecht and say, here's 20, 22 mil, 25 mil for Lakanga, he'd be going there because of the way we do business. It's just too slow, it's laboured, it's too cheeky at times. It's like, just get the fucking deal done. If you want him, get it done. How many times have we wanted a player and failed to get it done because we dilly-dally? Sometimes we want a player and 3 years later we sign him. Look at Lacazette, for example. The Arsenal knock. The Arsenal whisper, more like. We have to sell before we buy. Arsenal are waiting for an adversity to make a signing to calm the fans. That's always what they do every window. A signing to calm the fans. I think that's their main priority. They look at signings and think, which one would, appease the fans the most? Let's get that one in. And then, in fact, this summer, they're actually surprising me because Ben White is definitely someone that I believe the majority of fans wouldn't have wanted going into the transfer window. Yes, people can put on a clown mask and smile all they want and act like, yes, we're getting the next fucking Tony Adams in, but we don't know. And what we do know is none of us really wanted a centre-back as our top 2 priorities going into the transfer window. So maybe this season they're saying, fuck it, we're going to do what we want to do and believe in Arteta and believe in the process, and we're not going to listen to you again, even though we just told you a few weeks ago we're going to listen to you and talk to you. We're just going to do what we think. Do it. Do what you think. That's even better than doing what I want or doing what us lot want. Do what you think, Kroenke, Arteta, Edu. So when it fails, no one's coming to turn around to blame me, fan channels, AFTV, you guys in the chat. Blame them, because this summer it seems like they're doing what they want to do again. So we move. Even if Lukanga arrives, Arsenal may require further not may again, Athletic. Make sure you use your words wisely. It's not may. We do require. Ruben Neves of Wolves remains under consideration. And I've inquired about Sassuolo playmaker Locatelli. Fair enough, but the understanding is that the player is more likely to join Juventus. Of course he is, even though Juventus had a poor season. Right back is an area where there may have to be a sale before Arsenal buy. Hector Bellerin, Callum Chambers, and Cedric. 4 if you count utility player Ainsley Maitland-Niles. In fact, we haven't got 4 right backs. We've got 2 because Chambers and Ainsley Maitland-Niles are not right backs. So people need to stop classing them as right backs. The club are keen to avoid the situation they encountered at the start of last season, when players forced Arteta to leave several first-team members off his registered squad list, along with Maitland-Niles. It's Bellerin who is most likely to depart. Good. Athletic have reported Arsenal's interest in Tyler Adams, RB Leipzig, although the American international who grew up as an Arsenal fan prefers to play as a holding midfielder. The North London club see him as a right-back. Fuck me. A centre-back prefers to play as a holding midfielder. We see him as a right-back. I don't know what's going on. And actually, he's not a centre-back, Tyler Adams. He is a full-back. Adams will soon be reunited in Leipzig with his former Red Bulls man. Forget that then. Mert Mulder. Someone asked me in the comments, a young left-back, I think he's a teenager. Well, left-back, right-back for a Turkish national team. It would be a decent option because he's young and he'd be a backup. Backup left-back to Kieran Tierney. And someone that has potential. But again, if you ask me about Turkish players right now, I'm not in the best of moods with them right now. So I'm struggling. But at the same time, it's not a teenager's fault that we didn't do fuck all in the Euros. So it's not on him. But it's an interesting option. The 22-year-old born in Austria but chose to represent the country of his parents' birth, makes sense, made 2 appearances in the summer's Euro 2020. Mid-teens, Mulder made the switch from striker to centre-half striker, evolved into a marauding right-back. I'm a fast player and love to play with the ball. My idol is Ramos, he said, complete player with all the features I love. Listen, with backups, again, I'm not wasting too much, brain cells on backups. Just get the fucking backups in. I'm more worried about the people in the starting position. Central midfield, who's going to play that? Who's starting 3 behind the striker? Who is the striker? What's happening with Lacazette and Eddie Nketiah? Come on. Arsenal are monitoring Real Madrid's 19-year-old left-back Gutierrez. I've heard his name. He's a decent prospect. Our contract release clause, 40 million. Okay, that makes sense. That's why we're sniffing around. That's... Ramsdale. What's going on, man? How many names is in this article? Ramsdale. Would you not take Ramsdale as a backup? Because for me, I look at Ramsdale and think he'll never be starting choice for me. So I don't know why I would bring him in when we're still dubious about Leno. If we're still dubious about Leno, surely you bring in a keeper that can potentially push and take over from Leno in the next couple of years. I see Onana as maybe that. Maybe that's because I don't know enough about him. But with Ramsdale, I think, what the fuck is this dude? Like, why are we linked with him? Even Sheffield United are not happy with him after Dean Henderson. So I don't know what's going on there. Okay, here's Arsenal has shown interest in Andre Onana, but were hoping for a greater reduction in his ban from the Court of Arbitration. Greater reduction? Just bring him in, bruv. If you want him and his ban is 3 months longer than you thought, who the fuck cares? Right now at Arsenal Football Club, I don't think any fan thinks we're doing anything next season or the season after that. If you want someone, again, just go and get them. Then there's the number 10. Arsenal's top target was Odegaard. Of course it was. The club have been linked with a move for James Maddison, but it could prove prohibitively expensive in the summer with so much to do at Arsenal. But he has admired that London Coney, and having decided against aggressively pursuing Emi Buendia, it remains to be seen who the next names on the club's list may be. Emile Smith-Rowe, they talk about that bid again. Likes of Xhaka, Guendouzi, and Torreira, all theoretically available. Theoretically? What kind of words are these? May do this, may do that, theoretically this. No, they are up for sale. They can go. The club had offered Eddie Nketiah a new contract to protect his value. I missed that one earlier because that's right at the end of the article. The club offered Eddie Nketiah a new contract to protect his value, like we did with Mavropanos last year, only to get 5 million off him next year. Crazy, isn't it? We gave a contract that, and 2 years later, we're getting 5 million for a young defender who's done very well at the club that we're giving him to. And Eddie Nketiah, we should have sold last summer. Surely we could have got 20 mil from Sheffield United, or we could have sold him in January. Surely we could have got 15, 20 from West Ham. Those were the clubs that interested. West Ham had just sold, what's his name, Haller. And Sheffield United obviously went for Brewster, because I'm sure that Eddie Nketiah was not available for sale last summer. That's where you get your value, Arsenal. Don't leave it till the end. Offer a new contract to keep value. Bloody sell these players when you should be selling them, not holding on to them all the fucking time. PR and protect his value. Don't believe the hype. Trust me. Like we gave Rob Holding a new contract in January to protect value. My God, what value? Before that contract was given to Holding, he was worth 10 to 15 mil. After that contract's given to Rob Holding, he's worth 10 to 15 mil. What the? So, you know, like, it's mad. This club is mad. Eddie plus cash for Basuma. I don't think that's happening. A lot of Haaland grads should be used as make weights. Make it make sense. We need that show. We do, you know. We do. It will come, man. Who's 30 mil now? Oh, Rob Holding. Rob Holding ain't no 30 mil. Rob Holding is 10 to 15 mil. Trust me on that. Can't even get 10 to 15 mil for Xhaka at the moment, let alone the Rob Holding. And people tell me that Xhaka's worth something, he's done something. Ramsdale's bad, says KG. Trust me. I watched him all season. I don't get why Arsenal want him. Bro, trust me, don't try and get what Arsenal want to do. Because even me, fam, I've been supporting the club so long. This last 10, 15 years, can't make sense of it. Can't make no sense of it at all. So, bro, trust me, enjoy yourself over where you're at right now, because it's definitely more enjoyable, regardless of finishing where you're finishing. And some Arsenal fans might look at you and say, oh, but look at where you guys are. At least you're still connected to the football club. The football club still connect with you as fans. They still care enough, you know? So, enjoy, KG, man. I don't even know why I went off on that one. Arsenal pissed me off so much, man. I wish I was doing the news tonight on AFTV. I wish I was. I'd go in on everyone chatting shit last Thursday and Friday about negativity and all that. Wake up. Imagine, you're talking rubbish to me about negativity Thursday, Friday, and then we wake up on Monday and Aston Villa have made a second bid for one of your most talented youngsters. So what should I do? What should I do? What should I actually do next? Apart from flip. Arsenal may adopt a similar strategy with Reiss Nelson, offer him a new contract before sending him out on loan. Fucking hell, Reiss. What's happened to Reiss as well? That's one I just don't understand. Reiss Nelson, for me, I had a lot of hope and faith in. You know, I had a lot of hope and faith in. But it wasn't to be. It is clear from the moves Arsenal are already making that there is money to spend. Oh, is it clear yet? However, how far will that stretch? That's what I'm saying. This is why I don't take these people as facts. Now, what the fuck kind of sentencing is that? Well, listen to the structure of this paragraph. Yeah, it is clear from the moves Arsenal are making that there is money to spend. However, how far will that stretch? I get it, but you're essentially contradicting yourself in two sentences. You're telling us there's money to spend, and then you're questioning how far that will stretch. Stop playing with Arsenal fans all the time. The full extent of Arsenal's plans may well be dependent on their capacity to sell players. Oh, so now you're throwing that in there. First, we've got money to spend. Then you're wondering how far it will stretch. And then you're saying, to be honest, we're going to need to sell players. Like, this is why I don't listen to, you know, Ornstein and Romano and Wheatley and all of these men as facts. I don't. And when I did talk to Fabrizio Romano a couple of months ago on YouTube, I said to him that the journalists play around with Arsenal fans, and he said yes. He said yes. So you've heard it from the horse's mouth. My man said journalists do play around with Arsenal because look at the history Arsenal have. And he even said that himself. He said Arsenal are historically great, massive club, supported all over the world. Of course, he said journalists play on that. Of course, they take the piss. It's crazy. Reece is too soft, says Ming. You think? Potentially, but anytime I've seen him, it's not like he performs any worse than Willian, for example, or other, people given a chance over the years. I'm not overly happy with his progress, but I also feel like he's been unlucky. Let me quickly go. Is my thing moving mad? The chat just started moving very slow. What's going on here? It is what it is. Every window is the same without fail. Used and abused. What do you expect when our Facebook fan page ran by Well, the Facebook one. I thought the Twitter one was run by a Southampton fan. But they all are, to be honest. They probably just hire someone based off of their credentials, not off of loving the club. Is it done deal? City, 88 million Grealish? I can't say it's a done deal. I don't even know what's going on at Arsenal Football Club right now. I swear Arsenal sends its burner accounts to Turkish's live videos. I don't see why anyone would call this negativity. Turkish speaks facts. He's more direct than William. Reece is, and I appreciate that, my guy. Jeremiah, I see you. To be honest, people need to mute these transfer accounts. No club. But you know what? When I talk to these people, like when I talk to a few people that, thrive and they not thrive off it, but they're always talking about these Twitter rumors. When I tell them, stop listening to these rumors. I tell us, like my brethren as well, I tell them, just stop listening to these rumors because it's not good for you. It's not good for anyone. They turn around and say, oh, I know. Like, I agree with you. But then the next day they're posting another fucking rumor in the WhatsApp group. And I just open my phone, look at it, and I just come off it because it's how many times can you lead a horse to water? How many times can you do that before you fucking need that horse to just sort it out? You need it to sort it out and stand on your own 4 if you're a horse, or 2 if you're a fucking human. Like, it's just too much. I know, I think my camera's gone a bit mad because the internet was just moving a bit mad for a sec. There's 800 people here. Love for the love, people. Make sure you guys hit the like button. Arsenal in the transfer window. Man's just here, innit? Oh, the Southampton fan left. There's a new admin. Who knows who he supports? Maybe Brighton. Cam is fine now. Good. Glad to hear it. Sky made transfers popular. They did. And then they fell behind. And then Sky started using Twitter as a base of information. Hence why they've gone down the shitter as well. Turkish, you are a socialist without knowing it. I am too. This is a struggle between the ruling class, Kronke, and the mass average working class person. Oh, well, that is definitely the struggle. 100%. 100%. Listen, everything in life seems to be tainted by, by money and greedy people. Literally everything. Everything we look at. You can lead it back to some sort of greed or manipulation or someone on an iron throne somewhere, ignoring the problems across the world. Everything. There isn't nothing left, that's organic anymore. Football clubs were organic, organic. And that goes to the owners of City and Chelsea as well. Because back then, none of us wanted that. But obviously now, if you're going to have that type of owner, you're going to have the City and Chelsea type of owners, not the Kroenkes. But the Kroenkes are that type of an owner where their money is it's not fun. I think like Roman and Mansour, they have fun with their money. They take risks with their money. They enjoy, they thrive, they're excited by it all. Whereas the Kroenkes and the Glazers and people like that, it's more protection of value. It's more protect the assets for future, for maybe the generations to come and all that. But in all honesty, they don't see that. How much do you need for generations to come, for fuck's sake? Just greed. 268 likes, 800 plus watching. Get the likes up to at least 300 people. Globalization. Even when I drive through Tottenham now, it's not the same as it was. I can imagine Tottenham in 20 years. Because obviously my nan grew up in Tottenham, so I was in Tottenham a lot growing up. It's just changing. It's just changing, and you can see the direction it's going in. It's not for people like me, that's for sure. Kroenke is a problem. The board is a problem. Arteta is a problem. Some players are a problem, and fans are a problem. We need to stop making excuses and accept we're crap. That is a great comment, because that is everything in one. Like, we've all got a part to play in this. We've all got a part to play. And you know what annoys me as well? Like, I do say not to buy merchandise. I do say that. But I also have friends and people around me that do buy merchandise. That's fine as well. Cool. I can't make someone. I can tell you the reasons why you might be foolish to buy it, or maybe why you're playing into the owner's hands and the problems at the football. I can explain these reasons, but it comes down to leading the horse to water again and hoping that it drinks. It comes down to that again, yeah? What I don't get is the people that buy a shirt and then take a picture in the shirt and then put it on the internet and promote it. You're doing, essentially, listen, at Arsenal Football Club, the devil is Stan Kroenke, yeah? You're doing the devil's work in that sense. You're doing the work of an owner who doesn't give a fuck about or shit about anyone or anything at the club. So in all honesty, that's what I don't get. If you want to buy your merchandise and you can't stop yourself and you have no discipline, I'm not going to look down at you for that. I'm not going to make you feel away. I'm going to offer my opinion. Hope someone listens. But there is no excuse for people to buy a shirt and then go and promote it. There's no reason, you know? And you just get regular fans that do it. The other day, I see a fan that said, get 15% off Arsenal shirts if you buy it from this company. I'm thinking, why? Why are we promoting this? Like, what were we doing? We should have protested when Josh was in the Brighton game. Absolute shameless fan base. One time Kroenke out, and next time forget it, and the next day Kroenke out. It's crazy, isn't it? That's what's demoralizing. Hope you're well, Chris. I'm good, my guy. I'm good. What time are we? 57 minutes in, 800 people here. I'm going to wrap it up soon enough. We'll get some more questions in, and then that's it. And that's it. Like Ty, AFTV. In my opinion, not like Ty, because I don't see Ty putting it out there online and saying, like, Ty wears a lot of merchandise and I get along with Ty. But I don't see Ty out there when he buys merchandise, takes a picture of it and then puts it on Twitter or Instagram and says, oh, what a shirt. Like, everyone needs to get this. It's like, what the fuck? Like, we're fans. You know, if you buy the shirt, you buy the shirt. Enjoy. Put it on. You know, if it makes you feel good, it makes you feel good. Some of us don't feel good, even seeing the shirt, let alone putting it on at the moment. So, you know, if you buy it, you don't need to ram it down people's necks. Equally, if you don't buy it, you don't need to ram it down people's necks. I stopped buying kits a long time ago. I even unfollowed the club off the socials, 100%. You have to unfollow the club off socials. You have to. Because there's nothing out here. What are you waiting for? If you're following them on Twitter, what are you waiting for? New training pictures. If you follow them on Instagram, what are you waiting for? A new stop online abuse campaign. What are we waiting for from their social media accounts? Facebook, I don't even have Facebook. I have got a Facebook, but I haven't used it for over 10 years probably. Please, I can't even imagine what Arsenal's Facebook page is like. It just makes no sense to follow them. Their YouTube channel is pretty much looking at other people's content and trying to recreate it in one way, shape, or form. Yes, they have that decent open mic thing they did last season, but they picked and choose which games to promote. You know, again, smart PR. I haven't bought a kit since 2015, says Mo. Where did I get this hoodie from? It's cold. Oh, Where was this hoodie from again? It's here somewhere. Lorenzo Verratti or something like that. Yeah. Lorenzo Verratti. If you search on Instagram, you'll see it there. I'm sure if you message them and tell them you saw it on my channel, they'll know what you're talking about anyway. So let's see what else is going on. But you don't follow them. I hear that, but new signings are few and far between, Marcus, you know. New signings are few and far between. Listen, we're an hour in. I've got a meeting in half an hour for work. Supporters Club is out on AFTV. It came out at 12:30, I believe. So go over and watch that. And people, listen, there's a pinned comment. There's video links in the description box below, yeah? I've got a team in STARZ League. STARZ League is basically a league of 12 teams, influencer-led teams. We've got different people in there from Wretch32, NSG, Big Nasty, Professor Green, Bushkin, J2K, a lot of different influencers lead in different teams, 6-7 aside league, and then goes into knockouts. I've got a team in there. I've put the links to every single episode. There's 3 episodes out. We've had 3 weeks so far. The league is every Monday and the highlights come out every Sunday. The links to the highlights are there. Week 1, I played Wretch32 and Avlino's team. We drew 1-1. So go check that out. Week 2, we lost 3-2 to Professor Green. Listen, Professor Green were unbeaten from the first season of STARZ League last season, which got interrupted by COVID. So they're a very good team, but we'll be looking out for them in the knockouts. We lost 3-2 to them. And last Monday, we played Weston. Weston are another team in there. And we got the W. So we've played 3-1-1, lost 1, and drawn 1. We beat Weston 4-2. Go and look out for those videos in the description below. And comment. You guys support me. Go and support me on that channel too. Leave your comments supporting the team. Obviously, the team's called Turkish, but the lads that play for me, they're called the Kings. From South London, very good team. They won the Neymar tournament last summer. Was it the summer before? I don't know, pre-COVID, I think. So look out for them. Go and check the highlights, support, comment, and do all of that stuff that you do over here, over there. Appreciate that. I see it. Marcus, thank you very much. And yeah, love for the love. I'll keep on updating you with what's what on the STARZ League every week, and slowly but surely, hopefully bring some of that content over to my channel. But love for the love, people. Still 700 here, so make sure you guys do that. Click the links, go and watch the games. Week 1, we was the first game, so you'll see it straight away. Week 2, we was the second to last game, and week 3, we was the second game. So just go over there and fast forward if you need, or watch the whole thing. It's actually entertaining. Big up the commentator and big up everyone involved. Follow them on Instagram as well, because they bring out a lot of good promo, a lot of good videos at the STARZ League with a Z for STARZ. Love for the love, people. I'll be back again. If not tomorrow, then Wednesday for the big